Game Kings, The Definition of Game documentary coming soon. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So, in this video, I want to talk about spoiled hot chicks. Okay, spoiled hot chicks. So, what's going to happen is that when you're out here talking to girls and you see these like really hot girls, the girls you think are the 9s and the 10s and all that other stuff, some of them you're going to run into, they're going to sort of have an attitude problem. When you try to holler at them, they're going to expect you just off the bat to do some shit. They're gonna, like, for example, you might meet a chick at a bar, at a club, whatever, and as soon as you start talking to her, she talking about, hey, you want to buy me a drink? You know what I'm saying? She'll bring that out, right? Now, the reason why she's saying shit like that is because she's spoiled, meaning that there's a lot of other guys that she's dealt with who would just buy her a drink. You understand? Who would just spend money on her, who would take her out, who would bend over backwards to deal with her, right? So when you come up to her, what happens is that sometimes she will just automatically treat you like those guys. You understand? And so what happens is when she realizes that you're not one of those guys, right? Usually she will just automatically not want to fuck with you because she likes to fuck with those type of guys because that's her comfort zone. That's what she likes to do. She likes guys kissing her ass, sweating her, doing all this other stuff. Or what'll happen is when she realizes that you're not that type of guy, one of these simps out here that'll just do whatever she says and is kind of like sweating her. What happens is that she'll look at you a little bit different and sometimes see what you're about. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get her because remember, since she's spoiled, she still likes for dudes to spoil her. So what she'll do within talking to you is still try to see if you're going to, do stuff for her. You understand? She's going to keep having a conversation with you. Let's say, she says to you, hey, you should buy me a drink, and you just look at her and like you laugh or whatever, or you say, hey, I don't buy girls drinks until I get to know them or whatever, right? So let's say you start talking to her, you're talking to her for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes or whatever, and then she'll probably ask you again. You understand what I'm saying? Or she'll say some shit like, hey, there's this other spot, down the street, and they have hookah. Do you want to like go and do that, right? So you might be thinking, oh, this chick want to chill with me, she want to hang out with me, but she might be saying this, and usually she is saying this. She's saying this because she wants you to take her to the other place, pay for drinks and pay for the hookah and all this other stuff, right? So the reason why she's doing this is because she's spoiled. You see what I'm saying? Now, see, how do you know when these type of chicks are actually into you? You understand what I'm saying? How do you know if these chicks are actually feeling you, right? Because you still see a hot chick, you want to talk to her and you want to make stuff happen. Now, before I get into that, I want to say that just because a chick is hot or really hot, or most guys would consider her hot, doesn't necessarily mean she's spoiled. You understand? Doesn't necessarily mean she's the type of chick who is just going to try to use a lot of guys to get what she wants, right? But you do have women who are like that. Now, how do you know if you run into these chicks and they're actually feeling you and you could make something happen? Now, usually what will happen is you may have a chick who's usually like a spoiled type of chick, but because she's attracted to you, because she's interested in you, she is going to cooperate a little bit more off the jump. You understand? So she may look like a chick who's not spoiled, even though she is, but in this particular situation, because she's feeling you, she's gonna, make it a little bit more easier for you. So she has high interest, so she's gonna make it easier for you. Or what'll happen is that she's going to try to see if she can get something out of you, for example, like that drink or whatever. And when she notices that you're not going to buy it, so let's say, for example, the girl is like, hey, do you want to buy me a drink? And you're like, well, I would, but then you're gonna expect me to sleep with you tonight, and I don't really know you like that, so I can't really buy you a drink right now because I know how y'all women get. You're gonna expect some dick, whatever, just something funny or whatever. And let's say she laughs or whatever, and now she's kind of interested in talking to you now. Now she's starting to like you, whatever it is, right? So you'll start to see that she's warming up to you, and then she won't keep trying to get you to do stuff because at this point she's flirting with you. She's trying to make it happen, right? But the thing is that in general, you're going to run into a lot of women like this where they're really hot chicks. They get so used to dealing with men that they're not that interested in, and they sort of use guys to do certain things for them. So, and the thing is, these women, they'll have guys who they fuck. You understand? They might have a few dudes here and there that they have sex with, guys they're attracted to, and they'll have sex with those guys, and then the other guys who are the simps, they will use those guys. And so what happens is that when you sort of go along with their shit, right? As soon as you go along with it, it's pretty much a wrap for you after that point. Meaning that, let's say a girl's like, again, she's like, hey, you want to buy me a drink? And you do buy her a drink. Then she puts you in the simp trick category. And, in those situations, it's damn near impossible for you to get out of that. You feel what I'm saying? She ain't going to really try to make nothing happen with you. You understand? Because you've already shown that you're willing to do this type of shit for her just off the bat. You understand? Or let's say, let's say this, you don't get this girl a drink, or let's say she doesn't even mention that, but let's say y'all are talking, and she may think you are this simp type of dude or whatever, and let's say she gives you the number. You understand? And you call her up, and then she's talking to you or whatever, and she's like, and you're like, hey, let's hang out, and she's like, oh, hey, but there's this like cool restaurant, let's go there. And then you fucking go there, you take her to this restaurant, you pay her for dinner, you doing all this shit. Now she got you in the trick bag, and so you continue to be the type of guy who spoils her. You see what I'm saying? So she's gonna have you in that category while she's fucking the guy who she likes to fuck. You see what I'm saying? And the thing is this, you just have to understand that there are a lot of these spoiled, hot chicks out there. And what you don't want to do, again, is you do not want to indulge in a situation where you're simping and tricking. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. If it comes down to that where she's not letting up on trying to get you to do that, then you got to charge her to the game. So that means that, let's say the girl's like, hey, buy me a drink, and then you don't, and you're still talking to her, she still again keeps trying to get you to buy her a drink, then that means that she's still seeing you as, she's trying to get you in that trick category. You understand? In that sim category. Or let's say y'all exchange numbers, and y'all are texting, you're trying to set up a date, and you're like, hey, let's go get some drinks. And then she's like, oh, but how about we do this other thing? Or, I want this to happen or that to happen. And she's trying to get you to spend a lot of money, do a bunch of stuff, then basically she's, using you as the type of guy she wants, as that simp or that trick type of dude. You understand? And in some cases, these women will just use you as another guy who they'll use for attention when shit is kind of slow. So let's say the guy she wants to fuck is occupied at the time, and she's bored and there's really nothing else going on that day, right? And let's say you hit her up, and then she's like, oh yeah, let's hang out or whatever. Or she may even hit you up and be like, hey, what's up, or what you doing or whatever, but she's not really into you. And what she's doing is she's expecting you to see her and show her a good time, take her out, do a whole bunch of shit with her, and that's how she's gonna come at you, because that's what she's used to. She's spoiled. You feel what I'm saying? So again, with these chicks, understand that a lot of times they will fuck with dudes who are on some simp trick type of shit because, that's what they're used to. And then if you're a dude who ain't on no simp trick type of shit, you're a real ass motherfucker, who got some game about him, right? You approach these chicks and you recognize if you're dealing with a spoiled hot chick or not. You feel what I'm saying? And if you're not, and she's being receptive to you, of course you just keep that shit going and you make the shit happen. If you notice that she is and she's not letting up on that, you just keep that shit pushing the charges to the game. All right, so that's pretty much it. Listen, guys, if you have any questions, click the link below. Also, make sure you guys Check me out on January 29th, the Great Love Debate. Make sure you guys come see me. I'll have the link below so you can get your tickets. All right, so I'll let you guys later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone. Now, before you go, make sure you click the link below to get your free copy of the audio program, Undeniable Game. This program is going to teach you 7 easy to follow tips on how to really attract beautiful women. In this audio program, you'll learn exactly what you need to do to become that confident man women are attracted to. You'll also learn what you must do to become better at approaching and talking to women. You'll learn why women don't return your calls and what to do to increase the chances of women returning your calls. You'll also learn the only time you should call or text a woman. You'll learn how to start conversations with women. You'll learn the mindset you must have to be successful with women. You'll also learn the main thing you need to do to figure out if a woman is really interested in you, and much more. So make sure you click the link below to get your copy today.